It's okay for you?
Mm-hmm. Ready. Oui, je m'appelle Benedict Wells et je ne peux pas parler le français. So I keep on talking in English. I'm 34 years old, I'm a writer, and yeah, it's amazing for me that my book is published into French. Since I have a strong connection to France, I have lived here for several months. I really do admire the French culture and art, so it's great for me that I finally translated. Yeah, the three main characters of the book, they're half French. Jules is the youngest one. He's also the storyteller. And as a child, he's pretty brave, he's outgoing, he dares more or less everything. And his sister is more dreamy, more childish. His older brother is even back then kind of an outsider and a nerd. And this is what the book is about, the parents die in an accident, and from one moment to another everything changes for the three siblings. The book is about the next 30 years more or less, 5 years later, how for example Jules from a brave outgoing kid becomes a silent observer, full anxious and full of fear. And the question of the book is, of course you change after such an incident like the death of your parents, or also after positive moments. But what is not changing? Is there something unchangeable in you? And can you, if you lose something from yourself, can you get it back throughout life? And the characters, they were just there. And when I planned the book, it was 2 of them. And then I was writing the first lines, me and my 2 brothers and sisters. What? 3? And it absolutely made sense. I could feel that this is the right amount of siblings. But this is what I do love in writing, that you can have many thoughts before you start, and then it's a total different story when you're in the book. I was 13 years in boarding school in Homs, and when the people ask me how was it, I say, when I want to say something nice, I say it was like Harry Potter without magic. But this is my experience of boarding school. The experience of the 3 siblings is way more difficult and way less delightful. When I came to boarding school, I was 6. I had nothing to lose. It was my life from the beginning on, and after several years I felt pretty much at home at boarding school. But the 3 siblings of the book, they had already a home before. They had a beloved childhood, they had parents, everything, and from one moment to another everything is away and they lose everything they had, and then they come to boarding school. This is pretty difficult, and this is not like Harry Potter without magic. This is just very difficult. And 6 Feet Under, unfortunately I haven't seen it. I had to make a choice between reading or watching series, and I was going for the reading part.
You have to see this.
Yeah, I heard, but it's I cannot. I have to read so many books. It was not a decision by purpose for me from the very beginning. It just felt the right thing to do when I wrote the story. I always try to write the first or second draft intuitively, not like that I plan everything before and then I write. So when I reached that moment in the book, it just felt natural and good to do this. And later on, sometimes I'm cutting things like this when I realize, yeah, it dragged me there, but it's not fitting into the book. But this one I love from the very beginning on. It feels like a theater play inside the whole book, and I just liked it. But I wouldn't say it's. I wouldn't say that I wanted to tell something with that piece of the book. Like when it comes to 2 writers, I just wanted to tell the story. I was dragged into literature and writing by John Irving, and especially by The Hotel New Hampshire. I've read it when I was 15 years old, and from that moment on I wanted to become a writer myself. After I discovered the early Nick Hornby, which I liked, and when I was like 19, 20 and was living in Berlin, working during the daytime, writing at night, always got rejections, so my flame was becoming more little and little. Then I discovered Michael Chabon and his work, and he had such a playful art of writing, so I was inspired from the beginning on again. Years later I discovered Kazuo Ishiguro. I wouldn't have started The End of Loneliness at the age of 24 without reading Kazuo Ishiguro before. He really showed me a new whole way of writing. But I really have to say, my favorite other authors are Fitzgerald and Carson McCullers. Carson McCullers is probably the author I feel the strongest connection to, in the way of empathy and seeing the world. And she's the best for me. Well, that's a good question. Where to find the life energy? I would say it changes. There was a moment when writing was definitely my life energy, and I can see this is gonna end. And so I don't know what I will do in 10 years, maybe not writing. I love music. I can totally see something there, not with me a musician. I'm horrible as a musician, but like there are other fields of music or other stuff I have to figure out. But because I never want to keep on writing without passion, without this total dedication to what I do. This is what really brings me into literature and into writing. Like this, that you really dive into the characters, you live with them, you dive into the story. This is what you want to do. And if you lose this passion, then you can have technique and everything, but it's not interesting anymore. So I hope I will be strong enough to quit if I reach that point, and maybe not. Maybe in 10 years I'm re-inspired again with something new. Who knows? So I want to say I don't have any idea.
Maybe we have the time to see 6 Feet Under.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, then I have the time to see the whole series. Binge watching.
That's how it goes.